limbo. She said she not a, she in. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Stafford on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Looking downfield for Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Cook. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Switch it.
To throw is Cousins. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. Scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Stafford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here's Anderson. He's got it on the draw. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On first down, Stafford here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Play action, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Cousins.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch, twitch. Watch. One. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Move.
Off the play fake, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Flush to his right. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You felt that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
One. Check 13. Kill. One. Motion. Switch.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target. 3rd down here. From the gun, here's Stafford. Got a man, it's Amendola. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Toss play. This is Anderson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Pass from Stafford, caught by Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup at 25.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on first down. Anderson, he'll get only a couple down to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 44, Stafford. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This will be taken in at the 1. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
Following the interception, Cousins. Steps away to his left. And Diggs has it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Play fake. Cousins rolling to his right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been...
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, an 80-yard touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins, and the catch made by Johnson. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, you know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it.
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Bailey got the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half.
Line 6.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's trash. Hey, 54.
The final shot before the break. Stanford looking downfield for Jones. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
50 seconds to Mike. 3 bucks, 3 bucks, 3 bucks. Zebra.
Play action now. Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Make no mistake about it, that's a really dangerous place to run that play. But the way that they're spreading the defense horizontally, you've got to think that as the game goes on, they'll find opportunities vertically downfield as well.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Back to throw. Stafford being chased out left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st down, Anderson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, and he's got it complete to Anderson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. You saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Nick bought him. his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions gain a bit of respectability. Well, they weren't messing around. First and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Extra point good by Prater. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. 15 yards on the play. First down.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey! Rush in! Hey, flipper! Rush in! No! Off!
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And he's taken down inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
Watch watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
He's checking.
Lucky 50.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll run for it with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Undercrouch.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
Black.
Watch the run. Check. Crunch.
On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
They went for broke on 3rd down, and it would have really lit up the sideline if that one had worked. What do they do now on 4th down?
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again, Stafford. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Stay 50.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now. It's Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. On play action, Cousins. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Amendola set to return it. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Stafford on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the return will stop right around the 25. Amendola, he was the intended target.
Let's go.
Throwing here, Cousins. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 26. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wear?
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. Johnson was the intended receiver. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having a...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'ma shine out, working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like 4th down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong.